All right, so I'm going to start with gold on the daily first. Just going back to show you how I've been doing it as of lately. So just to get you familiarized with everything. This is nothing more. I'm still editing this right here. This is just like session time, all of that crap. Um Key levels we don't need to worry about right now. Periodic volume profile. I got it set to 1 bar, row size 30, and just showing the value area. So I got the value area volume set to 1. So it's only going to show me 1 bar um where the actual point of control is out of that whole volume profile. I'll turn it up real quick just to show you. So there's the whole profile. I'll turn the width up to 85, spread it out. You can see there's a point of control at the so there's that. And then the background is just to help see the candles better. I will brighten those up real quick. Kind of a bright red, so that way you can clearly see it. All right. So basically, using the value area and the volume profile and TPO and all of that stuff, we know that the bigger institution players are holding on for a lot longer than we can with our small accounts. So the areas that they're buying from, the areas that they know that they can get their orders filled at the best price, right? And the volume has to be there as well. Um, what I mean by that is, let's just take any random spot on the daily. I mean, we can go back and just do something like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Go down to a smaller time frame, like the 5 minute, right? Roll on a random day. We'll do it twice. I know 5 minutes doesn't have a lot of data. We'll do it once, and then we'll do it again. Somewhere back here. Um, That's weird. Let's see where we at. Bar replay cannot be accessed. What's going on? Try that again. Okay. Uh, Go to a random day since it's being weird. Here, here. All right, and then I'm gonna go back to the daily. I'm gonna turn this crap back on. I don't really need. Well, I do need that. Go like that. All right. So looking in here. All right. Let's say this is the day that we're on, August 9th of this year. Okay. What I've been doing lately is I'll take the point of control. So what I'm looking for is stack points of control in a certain area. Right. So let's just go and look at a few. Where do we got a bunch of stack point of controls at? Bam. All right, so you got a stack of PLCs right here. You got a stack of PLCs right here, and then you got a stack right here. And this is subjective. You can put them however you want to. What I normally do is, and it's manual work, but it works very well, is just take each point of control and put a horizontal line there, and you'll see why in a minute. So actually, let's just do it now. Go back to here. Okay. We'll just mark off a few here, here, and here we go. All right, so let's go down to a lower time frame and see. Also, I do the daily, and then I'll do the 4 hour to see rotation, right? So if I'm looking for a shift out of a certain area, what I don't want to see is something like this. So you see this candle with this PLC right here. PLC is below the candle. When they return, you want to see them not even close a candle within that PLC area. The time, as soon as they do that, you're looking for a counter trend after it goes back the opposite way. Because what this is telling you is on this candle right here, all of that volume, the point of control, most of the volume is traded down right here. If the big guys, big institutional players, big money wanted to continue going higher, they wouldn't come back down into this candle. They wouldn't close back into this PLC area's range, and you'll see that over and over again. That's how you can kind of find the true trap trader. Like here, these guys would trap, right? You got this high PLC, not those two, but up here, you got that stack of three PLCs right there. They never let those guys out of their position. That's a true trap. Okay, so mark off your areas on the daily time frame and the 4 hour, and then from there, what you're gonna do is go down to your trading time frame, and we're about to go into that right now. So this is June 23rd. So let's scroll down to June 23rd. Take us back. So that's right here. Now I'm gonna hide all these sessions and we're just gonna work with the lines and the boxes that we got right now. So we know that the boxes, I don't think I drew any over the 4 hours. Okay, so yeah, the boxes are gonna be the 4 hours. These blue dash lines will be the boxes will be the daily, and the blue dash lines will be the 4 hour points of control. So I'm just gonna mark out the recent one. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. Now here we are on this day, right? This day is pretty much starting now. Let's go down to the 15 minute or the 5 actually. Yeah, we go down to the 5. And we're just gonna start this day from basically as if we were coming in right before New York starts. All right. So this is what I'm looking at when I get to the chart. Okay. So on the 4 hour and the daily time frame, this is what I'm seeing. Right. And here's your range, that space right there. That's all your range right there. It's nothing more to see besides they're just within that range. You can trade it however you see fit. And what I'm gonna show you what you should be looking out for is the times that these reversals occur. Right. So let's go down here. Let's get this one going. So we come into the market, and this is all the information that we have, or that I have normally on a trading day. So when I come to it, what I'm looking at is, yeah, I could look at my 3 days, I can do everything else, but this is mainly what I'm looking at. If we break below New York 3 hour window PLC, I'm looking to um, go short automatically after the retrace back up. Because what this is telling me, we know that New York is the biggest market. There's the most amount of money in the market at this time for futures, forex, stocks, everything. If there's the most amount of money in the market at this time, then the point that they break that point of control where the most amount of volume was traded at, right? That should be your cue to instantly start thinking about a short after we come back into the retrace. So this is what I mean by that. So here's the day we're currently looking at. What we know is we had a strong pump day 2 days ago or 3 days ago on in the New York session, right? Here's this point of control. Hey, the next day, chopping it side, whatever. You could have got some trades off. I'm gonna show you that, but I'm trying to show you how to find the big moves first. Okay, so day one, day two happens. As soon as we break this point of control, I'm looking for a failure at the point of control with this area right here. So this box is drawn before we even get to this area. So we're looking at this saying, okay, we want to sell off at any high peak. So you could have used, you can use divergences, you can use the futures, you can use whatever you want for your confluence for where you're going to short it. How I normally do it is I do it like this. Okay, when Asia comes online, I'm looking for us to come back into the New York value area and bounce from there, right? If we start off going higher, then that's fine. Okay. So if the Asian range doesn't do anything, it just stays contained inside itself. That's fine. I don't have a trade to do. I still know that we're in this red area. On the start of London, what I want to see is the same thing. I want to see it break one side and continue. Okay. So opens up right here. You can actually go in and see it. So go in here. Yes. All right, so this is where we're at right here. Okay, London comes online, right? Now what I'm looking for is okay, are we going to crack through the entire profile of Asia and continue into the value area of New York? If we do that, then I can take a short because I know that if we hit the value area and continue lower, we're probably going to the PLC, and then that's going to lead us to the end of the value area on the opposite end during the New York session that day. So here we go. Okay, we come down to the PLC area, right? Candle close. The next candle immediately opens and goes. So that's your cue right now to say, okay, maybe we were rejecting it. Maybe it may fall in the New York time. I still know that this is my area to take a trade. Okay, but it keeps going. And the more information you have, the better um, trade setup you will be able to find. So, and you see they come back into the value area, crack it again. Let me speed it up. All right, so New York open. Now, in this entire day, this is the whole setup. When New York comes online, okay, the um the 9:30 candle, if the 9:30 to 10 o'clock, it well, it really don't matter. But if the early candles of the New York session are breaking the high or the low of the whole entire Asia and London session, then you should be looking for something else. I can get okay. Anyways, so here we go. We're in the New York session. It's 8:25. Let's speed it up to 9:30. 9:45. Okay, 9:45. This is perfect right here. So 9:30, 9:35, 9:40, 9:45. All right. So right now it's looking like we're not gonna break this range, and we're coming back down again. That's what it's looking like. There you go. Take your short back down to the bottom, either the value area or the bottom of the range, or you can do the entire profile of the entire day. I got it broken down in the sessions because different traders trade different ways. So you got three opportunities to get in something if you want to. How I do it is I just do the New York session and call it a day. Right? If I'm up to catch something like this, then that's fine. But I need to see them go below a certain area. If they want to continue, I need to see them crack lower into that value area to continue lower. If they don't, it lets me know that they're holding out at the point of control for something else. All right, so they're building order flow for the real move down, but they're not going to do it yet. So here we go. We keep going. You got your move. And that came close to the PLC, but didn't hit it yet. And at that point, I'm done. Like you can try to get back in a trade. You can short it back when it comes back up into this range. Whatever you want to do, but at that point, I'm done. I'm done for the day. All right, so let the day play out. Yeah, and the more information you got, the better. So just off of this move alone, right? You knew, okay, I was gonna take my trade down to the value area. Well, how do I know where to get out at? Well, let me see. If we crack through the value area up here, come all the way down, hit the bottom of the range close to the PLC and starts reversing back up, your stop loss should be at the value area low. Like at least lock in that profit. Because if price is able to return back into the value area, then that means that it's able to go back to the other side again. That's the whole point of the value area. So we roll into the next day. Okay, we see this. We see Asia breaks out. All right. If you like, what's so hard about saying if we get a break above this high or yesterday's high, I'll buy and I'll take the trade up until the next high, right? Or you can say the top of the range or whatever. There's so many ways you can just take the trade off of that and still be profitable every time. Okay, so you can say, okay, on the 5 minute time frame, every time the Asia session breaks the the previous day or the previous New York session's high or low. Sorry, I'm still trying to find these tools. They place them everywhere differently. Um, but you can say, okay, once we get the break of this high, right, I'm gonna get in, or I want the break of New York session because I know that that's where the most amount of volume was traded during this period right here. Okay, and you can say, all right, I'm gonna get in on the first um, higher high, higher low, break of the higher high. So it would be this right here. So what did we break it at? Right here. This is kind of crazy. So if you use your ICT or whatever you want to use too, you can go this, boom, boom, retrace to the top of this. There's your buy right there. You can buy anywhere in this zone. Stop loss below that because this is already generated, and then just ride it until you get to the um. I'm losing my words, to the next high, to the next high, the next low of that day, of that week, whatever your target area is. If you got a bias and you believe something, take it on that before the market gets to that level, and then you think it's going to go further, and it retraces on you. All right, so there's that one, right? Again, I like to wait until all the information is generated. So there's Asia. Now, what am I looking at right now? 115. Let's speed it up to two. Bam. Okay. We trace back to the value area low. Still sitting on top of New York. Still sitting on top of London point of control from. I'm sorry. Value area highs from yesterday. Now, you want to see it continue going higher if it's going to go higher. Once it starts breaking into this, the value area, there's nothing to stop it from continuing lower. And over here, we can go ahead and mark out the areas for that Wednesday too on here. So we'll go to the 23rd. Or did we already mark it out? Yeah, 23rd. So it's on the 23rd. Go to the 4 hour. All right, so let's mark these levels out. Daily. um, If you want to say that, but it doesn't even look like it's anything to save it in here. There's no clusters. This is the biggest cluster right there. So let's go back down to the other chart. Mm, Got those levels marked out. So here we go. Asia opens up. Yeah. We crack below it. Yeah, we crack below. That's one candle. I want to see a strong one in there. If I don't get the strong one crack into that, I'm not buying it, bro. On the 5 minute, I'm not doing it. And then at the same time too, you can just look at the 4 hour and say, okay, do it look like I'm going reverse from this area? If the candle look like it's impossible, then it's probably impossible for that to happen. I know they say the market can do anything, but if you see a candle structure like this, right? Say that's one candle, and then open like this, and you get this, and then let's say you get one more that does this, okay? And your wicks are like this. Let's just say that this obviously is green, and then this one is green and green. Okay, so let's say you got something like this. Damn, this off center is fucking with me. Whatever. But let's say you got a candle structure like this. Okay, and you're wondering if you should short. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're an idiot if you do that. Why would you short something that's telling you that you shouldn't short it? I know you. Everybody wants to short a retrace on a bullish candle, but the first one out the gate you want to short, like the very first one you see out the gate, you want to short it or short back into it. You should be looking for a continuation on every one of those, unless it's at an area and like one of the red boxes or the 4 hour point of controls, and you get wicks all the way through, and the body closes at the very bottom of it, right? Where you see it pushed to one level, and then the projection, no bodies close into it. The second you get a body close into it, right? Now it's a different story because those same people that stepped in here aren't able to step in at this area right here for whatever reason. They may have sold off their position. They may be out of cash. So moving on to the next one. So that's that. A little bit on the candles, and you'll see the same thing over and over. The time of day is really what matters. So let's get back in here. So that's the daily 4 hour. Go back down to the 4 hour. I got my levels marked off. Let's mark these three levels off, and then I'll stop talking. So you got a cluster of 4 hours right here, which is very interesting. Right, cluster of 4 hours right here. I'm just gonna mark that one off. Whatever. They're all in the same area pretty much. Okay. Go back here. And what do we got? All right. So London is online. They're back into the value area. Your obvious theory would be back up. You would want to see them go back up into there if they're in this area. Passing high node, this high node, getting up into here. See what they do. Crack it at 77. They'll crack it. Let's see if they do it. Nope, they don't crack it. They get a little bit higher. New York's about to come online soon. Okay, start in New York. New York opens, bam, they a strong candle outside of this area. Okay, now where you start to short at is when they cross this. Anything else? I mean, you can short early if you want to. You can look for CVD divergence, whatever you want to use um, to help you get that edge. But if you want to for sure trade, you wait until they close below this. We know we in the red area too. Like, what are we looking at? Like, all right, am I looking for like a head and shoulders pattern? Am I looking for some whatever it is that helps you see that trade that you normally take that you're profitable on? Do it when it's inside of these areas. So we'll keep going. Crack. Okay, it cracked it right there. Cracked through it. Now, what you expect? You expect another bounce to form a lower high and then fall out of this range and take out this PLC and continue through all of these little areas right here. Okay, there may be some up above, but we ain't talking about that until we break out of this box. So watch it. We get the retrace. Okay. So, all right, you get a retrace up into here. The bottom of these profiles, let's see if they come back up to the POC or just immediately reject. I'm sure there's probably a VWAP or some type of moving average that coincides with this too as well, but I'm just keeping all of that off my chart for now. So let's just see right there. That big engulfing right there. Send them to hell. And there it goes right there. There's your trade for today. Right by 11 o'clock, you should really be done wherever you at in there. So you get the trade to go your way, you're done. You're out. That's nothing more you should be doing. All right. And then you wait for the next day. Like, all right, we already cracked the PLC. I hit every objective. Why would you try to chase all the way down just to get that last dollar? It's not worth it because you don't know who's going to step in the market at what point. Okay. All right. So New York plays out. That day is done. I can mark it off on the 4 hour and the other time frames. Let's see. I will speed it up a little bit. All right. So let me mark off on the right time. On the 20th. All right. Let me just speed through this week so I can get through this shit. Thought it said the 23rd. All right, same thing on this day. We'll just play this day out. All right, so what we know that we just sold off strong PLC. What happens to Asia? Asia comes up, comes close as hell to the PLC. It probably touches the PLC if I change the bar width, but I find that having the width set to what was it, 30, 40 rows. I mean, row size set to 40. That's perfect for this right here. 40 bars is enough to look at this. All right, so we see this. Okay. Comes up here twice, bounces out the point of control, gets rejected in this area, and your red box. You can take a valid short there. I like to wait until we get more information. Here's that PLC that you already cracked right there, and you got back above it. With retrace, you want to see a failed retrace and a continuation back down. Again, taking out all of this. If you don't get that, then so be it. You know what you're waiting for though. So just play it out. Bam. Okay. So right here, what you see in now is on replay mode, trading view acts stupid. So I didn't even want to do it on replay mode, but just to show you. Here's your point of control. Okay, London opens, they comes up to the point of control of Asia, rejection. That's what you should be thinking about taking your short. You got so many confluences right here. You have the Asia range that just formed. You have the whole New York profile that they just sold off from after this right here. So all these people are underwater. Okay, anybody that's holding this is underwater. And then on top of that, um, your daily point of control, you're losing that. You're falling below the daily point of control, and you have a bunch of 4 point of controls that have yet to be hit after a nice move to the upside. Okay. Yeah, after a nice move to the upside. So why are you going long? That's what you should be asking yourself when you do a trade that goes completely against you and continue going that way for days and days. Why did I get in that trade? What did I see that made me think it was gonna go a certain way? All right, so we keep going. London, okay, New York, one, and again, I want to see them continue to go lower. What they do is start off up here, right? They crack it, almost coming down to the point of control right here. I'm waiting for them to either come back up to Asia and I'm sorry, come back up to London and then continue lower, or just sell off right from the New York value area. hit point of control. Can we do anything with it? I don't know why I keep disappearing like this. See how you end the day. All right. So your one trade from anywhere from 8 to 11 is right here. 11 o'clock right here. That's the end before they continue going the other way. So you literally caught the entire New York move if you just stick within that 8 to 11 window. And I got it highlighted when we speed up. But yeah, that's pretty much the example. It works on all forex pairs. Now, if you're trading Nasdaq or anything else, there's something else you should be aware of or you should be looking out for. Is let me get in. There it go. It finally came up. All right. So this the 3 hour window that you should be looking for a trade. Now I want to show y'all something on this right here. So this is NQ. Okay. A lot of people trade the NAS 100 with the CFDs. It works the same way. The prices say different things, but the structure is exactly the same, right? On a move like this, you're gonna kill it in forex with 100x leverage. You don't have to have a requirement to have extra margin at 4 p.m. or anything crazy like that. So if you trade in NAS or uh, SPX or US 30 or even oil, use the futures chart to guide you as to where the money is going. Okay. So again, what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna mark this off real quick so we can get this over with. I'm gonna mark these areas off, and then we will we'll talk about it real quick. So that's it. The daily. All right. I'm just gonna talk it through as I do it. All right. So rule number one: start off on the daily. Mark off your PLC clusters. Okay, your point of control clusters. Like you got a bunch of clusters right here, and what you want to see again, what you want to see is volume profile point of control at the wicks at the highs, and volume profile point of controls at the wicks on the lows. That's what you want to see. You want to see them at the lows. If they're not at the lows, you want to wait for them to return to the lows and get the reaction off of that. And how you're gonna find those moves on a lower time frame is going down to the 5 minute, looking at how they're moving through the value areas on the session. So there's that point of control. I mean, you can argue you got a cluster right here, okay, and then you got a cluster right here. And this is just to get you in the mindset of, all right, this is an area where I may get whipped around at. Like I know you may look at it and say, oh, he's just marking off, every swing low. No, it's not the swing lows. It's the PLCs. So we'll go down to the 4 hour. I think that's it for that. You got a little cluster. No, I'm not gonna mark that off. Okay, we'll go down to the 4 hour, and then we'll do this. See? And I'm only gonna mark it back to a certain date so I can just hit replay and actually show you. Mm, yes, and one right there. All right, go down to this time frame and play it out. All right, so it's the 5 minute time frame. Okay, see what we got going on. We know the days. Okay, so all right, we open up Asia. Where are they going? Nowhere. Okay. 1 hour, yeah, 4 hour points of control. And if you want to see them steadily continue going over that, if this is what it is. And on the major news day, they do the same thing. They pump, 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 pump again on the first set of news. If it's a 2 set news day, they will pump on the first set. Okay. Get a retrace, pump up again. And on the second news set, it'll do the same thing. and then dump. All right. So Asia, okay, they come back into the value area, bounce off, continue higher. Oh, stop it right here. All right. So what do we see? The 3 hour window stops right here. This just calculates the profile from here to here. So from here to here, this is our profile range we should be looking at. Once this ends, I forgot to mention that as the profile ends, that's your confirmation that okay, I can look for trades into this period as we move on to the next period. Like you could say, all right, if the news, if I'm expecting them to pump on the news, and I see that we have a strong continuation of bullish days, or we have a gap to fill or anything, right? And I'm gonna show you this in a second. We have a gap to fill or whatever. I want to see them do a gap fill reversal or a gap fill continuation. And if you trade in again, if you trade in NAS, SPY, SPX, any of that, it's gonna be so beneficial for you to just turn on the RT8 session or regular trading hours and keep all the electronic nonsense out because I'm gonna show you here in a second. So there's your 3 sessions. Asia done. Okay, all right. Use my style. All right, we're gonna buy like Noodle said, and only buy when we get to the point of control and we get a reaction. Okay, point of control. Boom. Aggressive candle reaction. Break that shit. Shift out. Come back down to the low. Is that a bullish engulfment? If you want to call it that. Yeah, engulfs this candle, and you take the trade right at the open of the London session. London gonna give you that fire, bro. Every time, like it's gonna give you a move in the direction if you right. So all right, so here we go. We cross over the point of controls on the 4 hour time frame. Cross over the point of controls. Okay, find that as support. All right, so when you see something like this, like oh shit, we got a bearish candle. Nah, dog, this candle is sitting on a point of control, bro. On a 4 hour point of control. What I'm looking to do, I'm looking to buy that in continuation. Do you see a lower high? Did you see um has it have you went from a higher high, higher low structure to a lower high, lower low structure? Then why are you trying to short? That's what you should be asking yourself, right? So like right here, what do you shift out of it at? Lower high right here. Lower high, lower low right here, right? And you say, all right, I'm a short. You can say, all right, I'm a short up here on some breaker or whatever the hell you want to say. Like, dog, the reason I was short up here is because you at the top of the point of control. I mean, not point of control, but the top of the value area. You obviously at the value area high and you can't break out of that right now. So, all right, we're coming back down. Where are we coming back down to? Well, I don't know. Let's try the point of control first. Okay. We come down to the point of control. Have we hit it before already? Yes, we did. We hit it right here. All right. I know that if we hit it enough times, we'll probably break through it. Okay. So let's see what happens. All right. We come down. Boom. We hit it once. All right. I see these candles. Okay. And then an engulfment. Okay. I'm going to take it down to the value area low. That's your target. You look for the value area low. If you don't get it, if you get something like this, like, okay, cut the trade. Because it shouldn't when you got an area that supposed trap traders, wherever they are, they don't get a chance to get out and mitigate their position. The majority don't. So why would it come back up that fast after that small amount of move without cracking through the value area? Okay. That's that's another thing to look at. Now, here comes the US session, the news. Okay. We're pumping up on the news. Everything is fine and dandy. I tell you one thing that I know is that every time New York will take the daily open or will put one set of traders offside. Okay. So like this day people will continue to short and how I look at it is like, all right, these people shorted. They thought they were gonna short here. They got the continuation. They thought it was gonna continue lower through here on this pump up. They wanted to sell the retrace thinking it was gonna break down. Okay. And then these guys in the gap that were buying it. Huh. All right. Let's see. Maybe it was news or I don't know. Let's just see. All right. So you got people buying, 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 basically buying the dip, support, whatever you want to call it. I know that just people are buying in here. That's all you know is that there's buying going on for price to continue higher. So New York comes online right at 8 o'clock, right? And what do we want to see? We want to see them break Asia. I mean the high or the low of these 2 sessions, like this whole entire day. So from 1800, as soon as New York session ends and it's the next day, all the way up until 8 o'clock again, that next morning New York time. So that this whole time we're looking for a break in one of these areas. Once we get that break, we take the trade and that continuation after the retrace if we're given that. All right, so go back to today, play it out. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And this was great about NASDAQ and SPY and everything else, right? You get another Head and Shoulders, whatever you want to call it, right? If you can spot it better with a Head and Shoulders, then so be it. Okay. So right here, all right, you get this pump up, and look what you're pumping into. Like this isn't even something that's generated like as of recent, right? We got those levels from way back here. That's where this level was at, way back here. So we get your level there. We see this Head and Shoulders crap right here that they put up in there, right? You can take your trade. Like I said, remember once we crack into the value area, we're looking for the PLC. Yeah, you crack into that, and you're waiting for every retrace. So whatever retrace they give you, you're just waiting for it. Okay, you come back up to the point of control for London, can't break it. Like, all right, dang, this must be a strong day. We can't even get into the value area of the current New York session right now. Where's the next area we could be looking at? I don't know. The low of London. Now that we already cracked the value area low, that's your next area to be looking at. Okay, take out those PLCs, crack that. What's the next area you looking at? The Asia low, right? These people have been in profit. Whoever bought down here has been in profit this whole entire time, riding whatever move this was. Probably get a bouncing right here since it's the low of the day. Okay, you get a small bounce, and what happens? Continue lower. Anybody trying to buy the dip just got destroyed. Just continue lower and lower and lower. Now, the way that you really see this, if you do this, go to symbol, change it to regular trading hours. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to hide that, hide that, hide that. Look at that. We know that New York session moves the most amount of money. So any gap that leaves a large amount of people in profit at the end of a day should get filled. If it doesn't get filled, that means it wasn't anybody stepping in to buy this. Okay. So anybody but that bought any of this, instant huge profit, right? They may have held on for a little bit, sold off a little bit, that added on to the pressure of selling this off because who wants to be stuck at the top on a Friday at the end of the month holding contract? Nobody. Okay. So you always looking for a gap fill reversal. Okay. So the people that bought this right here thinking that we were done with the what do you call it? Let me find the pattern. They yeah, right here. Anybody that uh good, but not really. I don't know what people saw or what I don't know what anybody saw. This just may have been a day of a little bit of relief. But yeah, that was ugly. And what's weird, what's even crazier is look what a day ended at for the New York session. Damn drawing tools, man, I swear. All right, look where you at. Okay. At the end of the New York session. Hmm. How weird. Okay, let's see another one. this point of control for that period at the start of the New York session. So they open up, ready to get above right away. They head lower. Where's 11? 8 to 11. There you go. There's 11 o'clock right there. There's your move off of the short, off of this POC, based off of what you know and the areas that you're at. So you can say, okay, I'm gonna take a trade from either the POC or the value area from a high. Okay, all right. Where's the next high to come up to? Right here. All right. Where's my stop loss? Right outside the value area. There's your stop loss. What am I targeting? That lower that day to see if it's really volume, to see if they're ready to go higher. Okay, let's test it. Come down, test it. They get the volume they want, and they shift out. Easy as that. All right, so that's really it. I don't have anything else. If you want me to do some different things or show you some different examples, or you want some more examples, or you need help understanding, just let me know. Currently right now I'm fixing the colors on my chart and trying to get everything aligned the way that I want it to look. So we'll just go from there. And then what I'm working on right now, let me just hide these drawings, is it's going to have the Asia high, Asia low. Go back to go. I'm gonna turn these into dots instead of these big ass dashes. But it's gonna have like the New York session high, the New York session low. Uh, high here, we go here. They want me to pay for this so bad. I'll turn this on, turn off. Oh, I forgot about the CBD. We'll talk about that later on. How you can use the CBD divergence on certain levels. Basically, every CBD divergence at a high will get reversed and back down to the start of that open. You just have to find the highs and find the divergence in there. So if there's the divergence right there. There's the start of that move. You take it down to there. There's that. Same thing for the lows. If you get one at the lows, you normally just get them at the highs a lot of the time. So CBD divergence at the highs, roll over. Um, hold on. Mm, Still following the trend. I need to. I want to see. There we go. CBD divergence right here. Still continue to diverge back down to the start of the move. They come back up, get another divergence back down to the start of the move. You can adjust it how you want to, but I know for sure if you take the CBD divergence at the top of a move, you're gonna get down to the back at the start of that move on a 5 minute time frame every time. So CBD divergence at the top, back down to the start of the time frame. All right. Again, I said if you need anything, just let me know. I got you. If you need help or clarification, hopefully this video comes out decent. But yeah, that's pretty much how I've been trading, how I'm gonna trade from now on. Everything else is just on the back burner. Previous value areas, that's fine. I will keep those on there and add those. But for the limitations of trading view, I'm only keeping this up for the time being.